Welcome back to Keys Prop Hunt. On today, we'll be looking for some props that we can hit on. Let's get into it. So starting out here, looking at the right-hand side, we did have a couple homers yesterday. First though, Pena ended up going yard twice. Murakami went yard twice, and then Vaughn went yard as well. Let's look at the right side real quick. So you got Scherzer coming back for Toronto, facing Washington. Mao versus Milwaukee. Schultz versus the Yankees, which they surprised me last night. They had a couple hits off of Sanchez, so they may be rounding back into form. Perkins versus Boston. I'll say, and then we got some lefties on here. Peterson versus St. Louis. They did get to him a couple weeks ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago. We can look at that real quick. 292 to righties. Has looked better as of late, but he faced Detroit, whose offense is not necessarily that good. Looked good against Baltimore, who's also not good. And then you see St. Louis shelled him there on the 3rd of July. Went 5 2/3 against Milwaukee. And then Philly put up 4 on him. And Philly's not good at hitting left-handed pitching. So he goes four-seamer, sinker, slider, and then a little bit of change up there. Does get some whiff on this slider though, so we'll look there. Let's look full season first, and then I'll go last 20 at bats or plate appearances. My fault. So Winn looks pretty good there. 392 weighted OBA, 21% whip. Herrera looks pretty good. 386. Woba, 11% whip, 5% K. The rest not so good. Surprising about Walker down here, but he's also not missing it. 81% zone contact, so it's pretty good zone contact. He's just not putting him down for hits. So that's the slider. Then does get some whiff with this changeup, in which Herrera looks pretty good. 438 Woba, 5% K, 8% whiff. Walker is getting some power here, but does have a whiff and K issue. And then the sinker and four-seamer, he's pitching to contact, in which Walker looks decent there. Furman looks good. Vásquez looks pretty good too. Short sample for Jordan. Let's go at bat. So Furman looks the best. Walker looks pretty good there. I did that, if you saw me change to at bat there, to take out the walks to see what they're doing on actual contact here. 94% zone contact for Walker. Don't like the sweet spot. Looks pretty good for Velasquez there. Herrera, 300, 323. Not bad. 100% zone contact though, so I do like that. Where is he landing? So anywhere around here. Can take the middle. This is the sinker, in which Herrera looks pretty good. Velasquez looks pretty good. Walker 369, so the power drops off a little bit. Still 350 average, 100% zone contact, so I do like that. 40% sweet spot. And then this four-seamer. So let's look there, in which Walker has 381 Woba. Not a lot of power here against this four-seamer for them at all. Zone contact looks good for Jordan, Winn, and Walker. I'll go to where he's locating it, so it looks like he's trying to go top of the zone, so I'll go all three across, in which Walker looks pretty good there. Winn looks pretty good. Furman looks pretty good. Herrera and Velasquez drop off here quite a bit. But Herrera's not missing it though. I will say 90% zone contact, just not laying it down for a hit. Hit wise here, I'll probably say I like Furman. I think, is he a catcher? I want to say he's a catcher, batting like ninth. Against the pitch mix as a whole, Herrera and Walker look good. Velasquez looks good too. They don't look good if you're looking at, none of them are hitting that four-seamer though. None of them are hitting that four-seamer. I say I probably trust Walker the most here at home versus Peterson. You can go Herrera there. It doesn't like he's not whiffing or king, but it's just like the contact is not there for him. So, but we'll take a bloop single or you know something not hit hard, and he has a 43% sweet spot. So I don't mind Herrera there. When you can say I don't really trust him. I want to say he's batting sixth or seventh. If they move him up in the lineup, then I say yes. I said that like a couple weeks ago as far as moving him up in the lineup, but I don't think they will. You like at the beginning of the year they were bringing him up to the #1 spot against lefties, but they stopped doing that. And then power wise here, let's see. So the sinker's getting lifted a little bit and it's getting hit hard, so we'll look there first. Only 5 homers for Peterson though, so he is stingy with them. We can look real quick though. So Vásquez doesn't look bad there. Let's go last 10 to give recent. So 2 homers for Vásquez there. Went into this thinking Walker, but Vásquez doesn't look bad there at all. Walker looks good too, though. That's the sinker. Let's see if anything else. Outside that, he's really not giving up fly ball at all. Maybe this changeup. Changeup, he's looking down here. If anybody has anything against here, Walker does have one. Very low fly ball for them all, though. I'd say possibly Walker there for a homer. And then Vázquez doesn't look bad either to go yard there against that sinker. So that's Peterson. I want to get to Perez here. He hasn't looked good. Went 4 innings against San Diego. Okay, had the bullpen behind him. And so I feel like he can get hit up here. The Mets have seen him a couple of times, put 4 on him like 2 weeks ago, well 3 weeks ago at this point. So let's go with hits first. So he is getting some whiff with this changeup, in which Simeon looks pretty good there. Let me go last 20. So Simeon looks pretty good there. Taylor with the whiff and K, it's okay. As with Alvarez. Alvarez has been hitting though, I will say. Bichette looks pretty good there. 396 WOBA, 5% K, 18% whiff. Torrance as well. And he's not missing bats at all with this cutter or sinker. Does miss some with this curveball, so we'll look there first. In which Bichette looks great there. Simeon doesn't look bad either, honestly. Okay, not bad there at all. And then this cutter. And now that I think about that, I said I switched to at-bats for contact. It's more so, yeah, it's more so to get the walks out of there. Obviously, like with that bat, you don't have contact every single time. You may strike out. If you want to just go contact, I would say go batted ball events. I more so look at that when I'm looking at home runs. But Bichette looks really good here against this cutter. I'll see where he's locating it pretty much everywhere. It doesn't have a distinct spot here. I'd say 17.4 up there. I'll go that he's missing anywhere from there, even though he does have 8.5 in the middle of the zone. Bichette looks good there. Simeon looks good. Okay. And then the sinker, he's not giving up hits too, but he's also not missing bats, but he must just be keeping it on the ground, I'd assume there. He's locating it at the top of the zone a little bit, which is quite weird. He's getting in on the hands of them though. 2.7. I'm gonna say all look pretty mid here. Lindor doesn't look bad with the sweet spot, I'd say. Overall here, I'd probably say Bichette for a hit that I trust the most. Possibly Simeon there too. And then home run wise, because I think Perez can give one up here. It looks like this cutter, in which we just looked at this. We can grab that middle of the zone now. Let's go all four of those. One for Alvarez here, one for Lindor. Both in their last 10 at-bats against these zones in this pitch. So when you do click the zones in that pitch, it's the last 10 at-bats that ended in that zone, in that pitch. I wouldn't mind Alvarez here for a homer, to be honest. He's been hitting, has a couple homers since he came back. So I wouldn't mind him there. I will look at this change up. He's not really getting a high fly ball anywhere, but he's still giving up homers, which we can grab all three of those. So nothing there for Alvarez. Polanco has some fly ball there. About a homer each for Taylor, Lindor, Polanco, Robert. Robert just came back too, though. Honestly, I'd probably stick with Alvarez on that cutter there. Then not really a long shot here, but I feel like Contreras should be able to get to Perkins here. He struggles with righties more so than lefties. Not a high barrel there. Still 6 homers, and then what, 4, 5, 6 in the last 5 starts for Perkins here. So throws a 4-seamer for the most part, and this sweeper is really a 2-pitch mix here, and then a little bit of cutter there, in which that's getting hit as well. Let's look at that cutter though, because it does have a 15% barrel there. Durban looks pretty good there. Estimated Woba doesn't agree, but he is doing it. Let's see where he's locating it. So he's trying to go there. If he makes a mistake, it should be anywhere from there. %, barrel. About all the same barrel. Contreras 1 extra base hit there. Low fly ball though. We're going into the small park in San Diego. Sorry. And I feel like these righties should be able to get to him here in this sweeper. You can say he makes a mistake in the middle of the zone. So 50% fly ball there for Wilson. 2 home runs for Norevez there. 1 for Durban. Durban had a homer against that cutter too. Two homers against his 4-seamers last 10 at-bats against it for Wilson. Land in the middle of the zone a lot. Where's he trying to go? Top of the zone? I'll say top of the zone. He makes a mistake there in the zone. 2 homers for Durban. I'd say chalk play here is Contreras, but Durban looks pretty good there for a homer too. And then let's go Kelly at Pittsburgh. Their batsman's slow, but they should be able to get to Kelly there. I do feel like I may be saying his last name wrong. Toll here should give up one with that low ground ball, fly ball, this small ballpark. So we'll look at this real quick. 51% four seamer, so he's going straight, at him. And so that could be trouble there. It has starting to get hit in his last couple, not last couple, but Washington got to him 4-2. Baltimore got to him. The Mets, good start there. Not really, honestly, went 3 2/3. The White Sox really aren't good against left-handed pitching. Neither is the Yankees. So 2 out of the 3 aren't good at hitting left-handed pitching. He went 3 innings twice against Washington and the Mets, and then 5 2/3 and gave up 4 earned against Baltimore at home. So clearly he can get hit. Not sure if the Athletics are the team to do it, but in this small ballpark, anything can happen. So we'll look at this four-seamer. So in the last 10, Colby Thompson has 1, Williams has 1, Heim has 2. I'll go to see where he's locating it. So he's trying to go top of the zone here, looks like. So mistakes should be anywhere from there. In which Thomas has a 25% barrel, so 2 barrels there. 75% fly ball, do like that. 3 extra base hits and a homer. So not bad there for him. And then you got Heim here, 75% fly ball as well. Not getting pull air on it though. The hard hit rates are here. I say long shot homer there is Thomas against Toll there. You could possibly go Heim as well, and he should be batting clean up. And given that Langler's is more than likely, I think, done for the year, he should have an everyday spot being Heim. So possibly him to go yard there against Toll. And then who else from the right hand side? Sprout at San Fran. Pittsburgh, I'd probably Gonzalez. I'll look at the left hand side since we're already looking at him. He struggles with both. 289 to righties, 271 to lefties, 14 homers to lefties, 8 home runs to righties. Looked okay against the Athletics, 5 innings, 2 earned there. Looked good against St. Louis. Their offense hasn't really been good at all. Still gave up a homer. 7 innings against San Diego. I want to say it was prior to them getting hot. Milwaukee, that's a good game there at home. And then Tampa Bay shelled them there for 3 homers. Let's go hits first. So getting some whiff with this slider. Let's expand this. So they're all about whiffing and King against this slider, except for Davis. So where he's located at, they look pretty good. About a small sample size there, so I'm not really looking at that. Okay, I'll add that one in. I don't necessarily normally look at the righties on I wish that doesn't look too good at all on Pittsburgh. I'm normally looking at the lefties, but given that he does struggle with righties too, might as well look. Gonzalez has been on a hitting streak, so at least deserves a quick look here. So that was a changeup, both of the slider as well, his whip pitches. I'll look at this sinker. He's pitching to contact here. So overall, Gonzalez looks pretty good there, I will say. 100% zone contact. Let's go these bottom ones. Okay. Doesn't look too good there. Not enough power. Only 3 Ks. It's not bad. The whiff isn't bad either. 250. So the four-seamer Arizona looks good, but he's more than likely not in the lineup. Looks like he's trying to go outer edge there. I'll say he makes a mistake somewhere in there. Gonzalez looks pretty good. I'd say Gonzalez here for a hit against Kelly. Should be at the top of that lineup. So change up for the most part here. They all look like they're hitting it. The whiffs aren't bad, about mid. Okay, that's the change up. And then let's see where he's looking at the bottom here. So mistake could be anywhere in there. So I like the zone contact for Lowe and Reynolds. Not bad for O'Hearn either, and he's hitting it for power. Do like the sweet spots for them all. They had been a good offense, and then, I mean, they're still a good offense. You go through rough spots in the year. I'm looking for contact with this four-seamer. Which Reynolds and O'Hearn look pretty good here. Zone contact doesn't look good for Reynolds. 72% sweet spot, though. See where he's locating it. So he's going up there. Just grab those three. And which Lowe looks pretty good there. O'Hearn looks good. Reynolds isn't hitting it for power in his Kang, though. Magnum doesn't look bad there at all. What did Magnum look like on this changeup? I didn't really pay attention to him. So he's not really hitting that, but he's not whiffing. He's number one in the lineup. They're kind of hard because like some of them, I'd say Lowe and O'Hearn are more so trust for power than hitting for average. I'd probably say Magnum here. Now I'm looking at this for a hit here, and then we can look power. I say Magnum for a hit. I want to say them all for a hit, but given that they have been on a little rough stretch here, I'd say O'Hearn for a hit. I want to say you can trust Reynolds. Honestly, any of those four. I feel like they should be able to get to Kelly. They should be able to put up some runs on Kelly. So I'll say Magnum for a hit, O'Hearn for a hit, Reynolds for a hit, and then Lowe. And we can look power real quick because he does give up homers. So really this four-seamer. And we can go last 10. Normally Lowe hits a four-seamer, but I don't think he has as of late. Oh, actually he has one in his last 10 at-bats against it. Which I did. I think I saw that. Yeah, yesterday O'Hearn ended up doing it. Going yard there against Talion. So top of the zone there. He can land in the middle, but I'm going to go those where he's trying to get to. Which O'Hearn does have one against that four-seamer in those zones. One extra base hit there for Lowe and Magnum. Then outside of that four-seamer, this cutter's getting hit, which he's like pretty much everywhere. Where's the home runs at? How many home runs did you say? 4? Whoever got to that, that's crazy. Zone. I'll say I'll just go across here. See if he makes a mistake there. I would like to say that Lowe is due for one. It's been a minute for him. Just cutter overall. Let me take this off. It may be O'Hearn again though. The four-seamer overall for the year, I think it has to be Lowe. Using it 32% of the time. Reynolds could be in play there too. I'd say I'd probably go Lowe, homer here. against Kelly, and then Reynolds, a homer between those two. So let's switch to the left-hand side since I started there. You got Scherzer here against this Washington lineup, just coming back. Last start was the 10th against Philly. So swing and miss, some with this four-seamer, in which Abrams, Wood, or Garcia are not necessarily missing there. It's 20 at-bats, so nothing really changes there for them. We can go plate appearances. But so all of them look good against that four-seamer. And he's not really missing bats with any of these. I'd say he probably goes change-up to get them off of that four-seamer, in which they look okay here. Some K for sure. Abrams has the best Woba there. See where he's locating it. So he's trying to go down and away. So he makes a mistake. Should be somewhere in there. Abrams looks pretty good. Wood looks okay there. The zone contact isn't there. The zone contact is there for Garcia, but he's not doing anything with it. And then this curveball. Overall, Garcia looks the best. Abrams 384 is K'ing though and whiffing, whereas Wood still K'ing and whiffing as well. Lowe looks good there. Garcia looks good. Abrams not so much. Isn't K'ing or whiffing, but then Wood. I'd say Garcia's in a good spot here, being he's should be batting number 2 in the middle of Wood and Abrams. Both Abrams and Wood have been hot, so he should get a pitch to hit here. Given that you don't want to face Wood and you're not gonna walk Garcia to get to Abrams right now. So I'd say Garcia's in play for a hit there. I want to say you got to ride the hot hand of Abrams, like has shown no reason not to. Scherzer just coming back. And so I do like Abrams for a hit there. And then on the homer side, so it's really been this four-seamer that's getting hit up. 47% usage. So let's get this recent. So Garcia 2, Wood 4, Abrams 1. Where is he located? Let's go off 4 of those. So 2 for Garcia, 2 for Wood. And he's barely throwing this slider, but it has gotten hit. I feel like he doesn't, there's no way he leans on this four-seamer when they look this good against this four-seamer. Wood 2 here. Nothing really for Garcia. See where he's locating. Let's go on 3 of those. Allow 2 homers there. I'd like to say honestly possibly Wood to go back to back here. He had 2 yesterday. He can hit the four-seamer. Is hitting the slider he's also struggling with. The other ones he's not necessarily struggling with, the changeup, which Abrams can hit the changeup. And then, what is this, curve? Garcia can hit the curve, as can Wood. I feel like if they're not chasing those underlying pitches, he has to throw him that four-seamer. Wood looks the best against the four-seamer. I will say also that Garcia is in a great spot, being in the middle of those two, being Wood and Abrams. So he's definitely in play for a homer. And then, as I mentioned, Abrams has been hot, so why not, take him for one there. And then Kelly, we looked at. Imai, I'm cool on the Angels. Honestly, cool on the Phillies bats, really. Keller versus Arizona. I feel like they may be able to get to him. Possibly. Uh, I don't really trust Arizona's bats. They may get to him though. This lefty still Schultz, a lefty rocker. That game's already done. Maybe it from the left-hand side. Sessione, I really don't care to get to Cincy's bats. Yeah, I want to say that may be it from the left-hand side. You look at something. Uh, and then the right-hand side, barrel. Bradish is giving up some barrel there. Not many home runs. Sprout, but he's in San Fran. Kind of hard to hit it out in San Fran. 10 homers to righties. Schmitt, 2 homers against the pitch mix in his last 10 at bats, 1 for Adams. Let's look at this cutter. So the cutter, locating it right in the middle of the zone. 1 for Schmitt there, 3 extra base hits, 40% pull air, so not bad there at all. And this sweeper, really landing out of the zone, but if he makes a mistake, it should be somewhere in there. 1 for Adams, 1 for Schmitt. 44% pull air, 33% barrel, so 3 barrels, that's pretty good there. Then he's barely throwing either of these. See, 4-seamer. Where is he trying to go? Nothing there. Going oppo there has to be hard from a righty for sure. Let's go inside. Schmitt 2 there. 1 there, sorry. And then Adams 2. I'd say I'd probably lean Schmitt here, homer against Sprout. Possibly. San Fran's a hard ballpark to hit it out of. Sprout has given up 1 in his last. Giving up 3 in his last 5. And you got Bradish at Detroit. The only person I'd be trying to get to there is probably Dingler. Yeah, I'd probably say Dingler here would probably be the only person that I honestly slider. So to Corson too. My bad, I forgot about to Corson. It is getting barreled. Hard hit rate is not really there. Estimated WOBA is, let's see. Dingler 2, Corson 1. Both of them, the fly ball is not necessarily high at all. And this is the only one he's really, this sinker 2, where he landing up in the zone. It's weird. And 1 there for Carlson. I'd say you could go either or there. I'd probably lean Dingler for a homer against Bradish. And I think that may be it. Yeah, that's it. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. As always, if you have any questions with the platform, please let me know. If you can, please like and subscribe. Hope you guys have a great day. See you guys.